Alright, so the purpose of this video is to port an archetype from Metaphor into P5R. I have my archetype model imported via the Blender GFSTools plugin. And I also have a scrap persona. It's just Arsene. I stole the materials off of him and put it on this model to make sure that it's read in the game properly. They didn't do much with the materials. I just duplicated Arsene's materials and grabbed the diffuse and just a dummy specular and shadow texture for the sake of simplicity of this. So what we're going to want to do here is we're going to import our gap for the seeker model. Here we have if your metaphor dump is it's in this. So we take the battle and we grab the gap for here. We make sure that our model is selected. And now that we have that in here, we can go over to our NLA tab. If you do not have an NLA tab, you can just make one. You go over to this thing over here and hit nonlinear animation. So over here we have version 2.11.0221. That means that this version is for Metaphor, which means if you export it like this, it will export it as if it's a Metaphor animation. And we don't want that because we want to port this to Persona 5. If we look at our Arsene one over here, we can tell, bada boom, that's the number we want. So we'll copy that and paste it over here. We want to embed our textures because that's how P5R models are done. And we're going to activate our gap down here. Now, and there's a lot of different gaps here. What you're going to want to be looking for is just something that you know will fit in with P5R and stuff. I think this is his idle animation. Yeah, so this is his idle animation. So we'll definitely need that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag this over here. Well, I would drag this over here if I was going to showcase all of the animations that I would need to port. But I'm only going to just show one animation, just so you know that it works. So we're going to duplicate this. We're going to send this track to the top. Then we're going to go over here. We're going to add a new... We're going to name it... We're going to add a new animation pack. We're going to call it 021 because that's the model number for Arsene. Scroll down to gap properties, gap base animations, and we're going to make 11 of these. Now, having it as such, I think you can leave them named like this, but I like to just rename them to the numbers that are used. And now that we have that, we can activate this gap as well. And we just got a whole bunch of new things over here. So we're going to take this track that we grabbed before. We can get rid of that. And we're going to drag it into base 0 because 0 in a bunch of P5R stuff is the idle animation. So we transfer that animation over here. We can deactivate the big ass metaphor gap here. And as you can see, this is now in here. That's very cool. So now all we would need to do is export our model as the thing, as a P5R model You can, where is it? Here we are. Export version. You can set custom, which you can set your own number like we did before, or you can just pick P5R. Just pick P5R. It'll be a lot easier. But before we do that, you will get hit with a couple of things because the way metaphor models are rigged over the P5R models. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to NaoTools. We're going to look at all of our things. We're going to limit our weights here. And what we're going to need to do for this model in particular, or for this cloak, I mean, it has too many vertices. As you can tell, it's over 20K face count, and P5R doesn't like that by default. You can set some other things, but for now, I'm just going to split it in half, and we're going to do that by pressing tab to go to edit mode, and we're going to select like just half of this. You know, we're just going to do it like that, and we're going to press P, and we're going to separate by selection. So now we can export this. I have it set to that, but we're going to set it to the name. We'll do it by P5R. It'll be PSC 0201 is Arsen's menu model. This is probably going to take a little bit. You'll get some errors saying that there are more things that have too many vertex groups, but it's fine. We took care of the big one. We took care of the big issue with the cloak. And now we export the gap. We want to make sure we do P5R, and the 0201 thing is what we set up before. I forgot to put this here already, so we'll just do that. So put this on the desktop. This is a very quick animation because we only exported one animation. Now we have a GFDStudio, and these are our two exported things. So we can look at, here's our model, and it's the P5R version. It's not, you know, we have our materials from here, and here's our gap that we exported that only has a single animation on it. But there it is. Very happy. Obviously nothing else is here, but we can take these two models. Here we have, this is a mod folder I have set up already. So we replace these. 201 we will delete here. That's the battle model, and it's left over from the last one I did. So we're just gonna copy our PSZ model. You can import materials for battle models from other battle models that'll have kind of like a bluish tint. It feels a little overkill in my opinion because models already get transparent and a blue tint by default. So now we this is inside one of my other mods. It's over the Gallico one. We just launch our application, and when we go see Arsene, it should be the seeker. This game is really loud for me. Holy shit. Obviously we have that. And there we go, we have the boy. He doesn't have any other animations right now, but this is how you would do it.